lead here at the break. We will come back with a halftime report brought to you by South Central Bank. Small enough to know you, big enough to help. Always remember, if you find a vehicle on DonFranklinAuto.com, Don Franklin will then bring that vehicle to Glasgow and let you experience the Don Franklin difference. This is Barron County High Basketball presented by Don Franklin Auto Glasgow on 104thescore.com and Nash 103.7.
Looking for a new place to bank? Consider South Central Bank, a bank that believes in lifelong relationships, offers free checking, safe and secure online and mobile banking, friendly local lenders who know you by name and are ready to invest in your success, convenient lobby and drive-through hours, including Saturdays, to better serve you. South Central Bank has been serving communities across Kentucky for nearly 50 years. South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Scotty's Contracting in Stone has stood the test of time, with quality being their top priority. Scotty's has been serving South Central Kentucky for nearly 50 years. As your local paving contractor, Scotty's is community-minded and community-involved, therefore willing to go the extra mile to help their neighbors and friends. Scotty's Contracting believes home is where the heart is, and they want you and your family to love the path that leads you to it. You can increase the value of your home with a newly paved driveway. Just imagine that curb appeal. Whether you're selling your home or staying forever, quality paves the way with Scotty's Contracting. Give your home or business more curb appeal with the help of Scotty's Contracting. Rely on your local paving contractor, someone you can trust. Scotty's, serving you for nearly 50 years and is here to stay. Call 270-629-2112. That's 270-629-2112 or scottyscontracting.com.
If you hadn't been to Colton Steakhouse and Grill, what are you waiting for? Okay, maybe you need a special reason. Well, here it is. Our sizzling signatures. There's the Hawaiian ribeye, marinated for 72 hours and topped with fresh grilled pineapple. Or how about our Del Rio ribeye, topped with melted ancho chipotle butter and crispy onion tanglers. Both these mouthwatering sizzling signature ribeyes are available right now. Colton Steakhouse and Grill, where we know what's at stake.
In Glasgow, Campbellsville, Radcliffe, and Bardstown.
In our neck of the woods, propane is a big source for heating our homes, and your local Southern States in Glasgow is the place to get your propane tanks filled for your home. And propane-powered heating is used on farms, too. It's a great fuel source for heating livestock, such as swine and poultry, like chicken barns. Propane heat can transform the way you operate a farm and its various buildings. With propane, heating becomes more efficient in barns and even greenhouses. Call Southern States in Glasgow to find out more. 651-6167. You're listening to Barron County Basketball Halftime Show, presented by Don Franklin Glasgow. Now, back to Jay Turner.
And welcome back to Glasgow High School here in District 15. Doubleheader tonight. The Trojanettes leading the Lady Scotties 29-13. Barron County led 9-6 at the end of the first quarter. Outscored Glasgow 20-7 in the second period of play. For Glasgow in the first half, they had 6 field goals, 1 of 2 from the foul line. No three-pointers. Ansley Adwell had 5 of Glasgow's 13 first half points. Ashton Bott scored 2. Chloe Hale 2. Caroline Murphy 2, and Janae Bradley had 2. Mia Cassidy, the second leading scorer on the team during the season, has not scored in this first half. Trojanettes with 12 field goals. 3 of those are three-point shots. 2 of 7 from the charity stripe. And Katie Murphy has 10 points in the first half to lead Coach Piper Lindsay's ball club. 4 baskets, 1 of those a three-point shot. 1 for 1 from the foul line. Raven Ennis scored 7 points in the first half. 5 of those came in the first quarter. A 3 and a 2 and a 2-point basket in the second quarter. 0 for 4 from the foul line, however. Emma Hughes with 2 buckets in the second quarter. 1 of those a 3-point shot. A couple of baskets for Abby Varney. Addison London started the ball game, has not scored. Katie Gerald's played but did not score. Katie Elmore scored 3 in that second quarter on a basket, 1 of 2 from the foul line. And Addison Smith saw some minutes but did not score in the first half. In the foul situation, Glasgow with 4, Barron County with 2.
It was a very lightly called half, and that's okay. We played through it and had a really good first half. As far as the stats are concerned, for the half, you said 12 field goals. We were 12 of 31 for 38%, 3 of 11 for 3. So that might be a small weakness, but we've made up for it on our transition buckets. Glasgow 6 of 15. So we have twice as many field goal attempts and twice as many makes as Glasgow. Even though they're shooting 40%, we're not letting them shoot very many times. We were out-rebounded by 1. On the season, Glasgow out-rebounds us by about 10 a game, so that's a pretty good number for us. We turned it over 7. Glasgow turned it over 16 times. Big number for us in big half. We're doing everything right. We're playing with confidence. We're getting points off the turnovers. Cassidy doesn't have any threes. And Adwell, even though she's got a couple of buckets, she is by no means taking over the game. She just has 5 tonight.
Yep. Tune to 104.7 The Score every Monday at 4 o'clock for the Brown Sports Bag as James Brown and John Butler discuss high school and college sports. And make sure you check out James Brown's game stories, photos, and more from Trojan and Trojanette basketball. Log on to 104thescore.com or the 104 The Score Facebook page. 29-13 here at the break. Trojanettes on top of the Lady Scotties. And, of course, it's a busy week next week for Barren County basketball. The Trojanettes will be at Monroe County on Monday night. That is a varsity game only at 6 o'clock. And we'll have the broadcast at 5:40 from Tompkinsville on Monday night. Greenwood girls Tuesday night with the Pulaski County boys playing the Trojans. Senior night will be in between games on Tuesday. Allen County Scottsville will be at Barren County on Friday for a doubleheader. And Warren Central coming to Barren County on Saturday for a doubleheader. So lots of basketball next week. Hopefully we'll be able to get them all in.
Well, we've been very lucky so far, and it's mostly home games next week, so that's always good. That one game we're going going to Monroe, and a little split up on Tuesday night for senior night. But all in all, it's still basketball games, and you're getting to compete.
Zaxby's second half keys to the game.
Continue to ratchet up that pressure against Glasgow and limit Ainsley Adwell's touches. I think you'll be able to come out of this one with a 1C.
We'll be back with the third quarter and the Farmers RECC Jackie Brownie Memorial opening second half. Third quarter presented by Southern States Glasgow Co-op when we return after this break. Always remember, if you find a vehicle on DonFranklinAuto.com, Don Franklin will then bring that vehicle to Glasgow and let you experience the Don Franklin difference. This is Barren County High Basketball presented by Don Franklin Auto Glasgow on 104thescore.com and Nash 1037.
At the People's Bank, we are proud to offer one-on-one personal financial service. Hello, this is Terry Bunnell, Chairman, President, and CEO. We strive to give you the banking you deserve with a friendly atmosphere where you're more than just a number. We offer all that you have come to expect from a bank, including online and mobile banking. We are your community bank. The People's Bank.
Hash browns with the sweet and savory taste of a sizzling sausage McGriddles or a crispy chicken McGriddles for only $2. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home has been assisting families in this area since 1899. We continually look for new and better ways to serve the families of this area while maintaining the traditional values that have always been upheld. We are honored to provide assistance to families choosing cremation instead of burial, and to those who wish to arrange other non-traditional services. Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home in Glasgow. Here when you need us.
You're listening to Barren County Basketball, presented by Don Franklin Glasgow. Now back to courtside with Jay Turner.
And welcome back to Glasgow High School for our second half. The Trojanettes 29, Lady Scotties 13. Jay Turner with Robert Bauer here at courtside. Matthew Clark in the studios of Nash 1037 on the controls tonight. Glad to have you with us. I know BCHS Live is not able to live stream the game tonight due to some policy issues here at Glasgow High School. However, they are videotaping the game, and we'll be playing it back with our audio later tonight. Well, Katie Murphy had a really good first half, I thought, Robert. 10 points, and I don't know how many assists she may have had. She had 11 assists the other night. And, we really don't keep up with assists because it's not put on the stats, but she had 11 assists the other night.
I know. Y'all are putting a lot of pressure on me. I'm getting text messages asking how many assists Katie's got, and you're asking me how many assists Katie's got. I said I do good just to keep up with how many shots the teams take, much less individual stats. So that's about the extent of my stat-keeping ability.
It's hard to do stats and color both.
She does have several, however, and when she distributes the basketball like that, we make everybody better. That wasn't one of the ones on my list the other night for keys to victory. I mean, ultimately, we've got to get contributions from everybody to be a good basketball team.
Trojanettes had 20 points in that second quarter to Glasgow 7. Glasgow with the basketball to start the third quarter. Adwell off the screen. He's going to drive it to the basket. Bounce pass right to Bradley. I think she tripped over on feet and lost it out of bounds.
She caught the ball barely, but couldn't get it up to the board.
And we're going to have an unforced turnover.
I had my head down right, and I'm not.
Well, I
saw it going out of bounds.
Yeah. Adwell lost it out of bounds. Glasgow with the basketball on the right side. Botts covered up by Varney. Bounces in there to Bradley. Turns and throws it down to Adwell. Kicks it back out to Hale. Wanted to shoot the three. Back out to Botts, top of the circle. Now she's picked up her dribble. Throws it inside there to Adwell. Works up and under. Flips up the shot. It's too strong. Rebound to Ennis. Trojanettes back the other way. Behind the back dribble. Throws it behind her over to Murphy. In the corner, London fires it for three. It's an air ball. Bradley has it, chasing it down for the Glasgow Lady Scotties. Gives it off to Adwell. Adwell down the right side of the floor, stops and pops, shoots over Murphy. It is no good.
That's a
rebound
win.
Comes off to Ennis. Ennis pulls up now, throws it back out front to Katie Murphy. A little over a minute gone here in the third quarter. Barron leads it by 16. Varney hands it off to London. A little weave going on out there. Here's Murphy over to Varney. Thought about the three. Going to drive into the paint. Throws up the shot. Won't go. Batted against the board. Pulled down by Adwell. Adwell brings it in front court. Gets rid of it to Botts. With Varney guarding her. Reversing back to the left side. Dribbling with the left hand. Gives it off to Adwell on the left wing. Adwell directing traffic. Throws it cross court over to Cassidy. Down the corner to Hale. And it smacked it over her hands by Ennis, but got it back, though. Trying to go baseline, cut off, and she goes to the floor trying to keep the dribble going. And it's going to be out of bounds to Glasgow. Again, it's that angle we have. It's hard to see down in that far right corner. Almost 2 minutes gone, and neither team has scored here in the third period. Adwell out front for the Lady Scotties. Goes right side with it to Cassidy, with Hughes guarding her. Cassidy turns, goes back out to Bradley, top of the circle on the right side. Now swings it left over to Adwell. Adwell against Murphy. Now out to Cassidy, top of the circle. Hughes putting pressure on her. Now still on the dribble, going to have to get rid of it. Finally does to Botts. Botts going to drive in a lot of traffic, throws up the shot. It's way short. Saved inbounds by Bradley, but caught by Ennis. Here come the Trojanettes. Ennis down the right side of the floor. Holds up now. Throws it back out to London from Murphy. And now Murphy will set things up. She wants to drive with it. Goes back to London. Goes up the baseline. Had it poked away, but Murphy has the ball. Puts up the shot, and it rolled off the rim. Rebound to Botts for Glasgow. Top of the key, left open for the three. It's coming off the rim. Ennis with a rebound for the Trojanettes. Pushed it down the floor on the right side. Behind the back dribble. Goes into the lane. Lost the handle. Botts has it off the turnover. Botts curls out top of the key, gives to Adwell for three. It is in there.
It's only her second one she's hit all year long. It's usually a shot that she passes on.
And it's 29-16. Murphy feeds it off in the right corner to London. Free throw line is Varney. She's going to fake and drive to the basket and puts it in.
Good use of the ball fake.
6 points for Varney. Up court, it goes to Cassidy. Cassidy trying to get control of it. Flips it up. It's no good. Gets her on rebound. Throws it back up. No. Trying to get to the rebound. It's Hale going up with a shot. It's blocked. She puts it back up and in. Oh, they're letting them play that trip down. Long pass down the floor. Hughes stops. Lets the defense go by. Puts it up. Missed the shot. And Bradley went to the floor. Going to have a foul called on the Trojanettes.
It's an easier layup if you just keep going, but tried to trick the defense into flying by and didn't get it.
So Varney's first personal. That's the first one of the Trojanettes here in the second half. 4:21 to play here in the third quarter. Barren County 31, Glasgow 18. Got a final score in on the Metcalfe County-Casey County girls game. Metcalfe County wins 66-59.
Kept about the same margin the whole game. I guess that game started at 5:30. Got it done with a little quicker. Trojanettes, only 4 field goals attempts this quarter. We turned it over a couple of times. Glasgow's actually out shooting us, but fortunately for us, we've just traded buckets besides the 1-3 Ensley has. And we need to get something going offensively. It's just because of the pressure, it's turned into an up-and-down game, and we're unsettled a little bit if we don't have a clear layup just directly off a turnover.
When you're away from your radio, log on to Nash1037.com or the Nash 1037 Facebook page and click on the Use App tab on your computer, laptop, or smartphone to listen to the games live. Addison London has not scored in this game, and she hasn't scored in the last 2 games. Hopefully she'll get untracked. I think she's taken only, a couple of shots tonight? Barren County will set up with full court pressure as Botts will toss it in for the Lady Scotties. Got into Hale. She's in a trap. Almost stolen away. Botts almost turned it over. She's in a trap. Now gets it's on Adwell. Her first, team's first, the second half. 3:30 left to play in the third quarter. Barren County with a 13-point lead. Just can't seem to extend it. It was 16 at halftime. Out on the right side, and coming back left, it comes to London. London out top to Varney. Right side, it goes to Hughes. Back to Varney. Varney trying to penetrate. Left of the lane. Stops. Throws it back out to Murphy. Murphy trying to go into the lane. Bounces over to London. Right wing with a 3. No good. Rebound to Bradley.
Can't find the range tonight.
Ahead up to Adwell on the left side. Throws it across over to Cassidy for a 3-point shot. It's in there.
Their second one of the quarter after going 0 for 5 in the first half.
And they've cut the lead to 10 at 31-21. Cassidy's almost like a set shot from the right wing.
You don't see many like that, but first one of the night.
Murphy getting the screen in there to Hughes. Puts it up. No. Got her on rebound. Kicks it back out to London. London in the corner. Hughes will pull the trigger. No good. Rebound to Adwell. Adwell on the run. Down into the paint. Kicks it over to Cassidy for another 3. No. Way off the mark. And the ball is going to go out of bounds. And it'll be Barron County's basketball as Gerald's and Elmore will return to the Trojanet lineup with 2:17 to play here in the third quarter. And Katie Murphy will bring it up. Barron County led 29-13 at halftime. Glasgow's outscored the Trojanettes 8-2 in this third period. Got a moving screen.
That is
Katie
a
Gerald's
call.
Her first, team's third. Trojanettes not getting much done offensively here in this third quarter. Glasgow has knocked down 2 trays. And there's almost a bad pass, but Adwell there to grab it. Now stops and throws it over to Cassidy. No, the 3 ball is no good. And the ball goes out of bounds. We'll say Raven Ennis touched it last. Couldn't retrieve it. So Glasgow will get it with 1:59 to play here in the third period. As Bradley left of the bucket. Sends it out to Botts. Now Botts, she double dribbled.
That was plain and obvious.
Everybody saw that one. Bradley goes baseline, loses it out of bounds. They're going to call a foul.
Fouls on Ennis.
First foul on Ennis. That's 4 on Barron County in the second half. Bradley will toss it in for Glasgow on the right baseline. Feeds it there underneath, and there's Adwell putting it in and drawing a foul from Varney. And all of a sudden, this game is in single digits. 31-23 with 1:49 to play in the third.
Varney got pinned underneath the rim, and she really didn't do anything. It was more Adwell creating the contact. The way this game's gone, that one hasn't been called.
And the shot goes up, and it's good. 31-24. Glasgow back within 7 after trailing by 16 at halftime. And now Ennis gets the ball in play to Murphy and back to Ennis. Ennis in the corner. Add to Elmore underneath. There's Varney putting it up and in. Nice cut to the basket for the freshman.
It's easier to distribute there on the wing.
Yep. 33-24. Cassidy driving. Goes up with a shot. No. And rebound by Cassidy. And now we're going to get a foul called. Nope. Stepped on the inline.
Just very hit or miss. That was more of a foul than Abby committed a while ago, so you really don't know what to expect.
Addison Smith back in the Trojanet lineup. She'll come in for Katie Jarrows. And now Ennis gets the ball in play to Murphy. Murphy trying to dribble through traffic. In the backcourt with 1:22 to play. Third period. Murphy, they're going to call her with that pivot foot.
Yeah, she picked it up barely.
Yeah. $1:17 to play, third period. Barron up by 9. As the ball comes into Adwell. Adwell being pressure in the backcourt, and then she's going to throw it away right here to midcourt.
We actually didn't have great defensive position other than that trap, so it was a very effective trap.
1:08 left, Barron up by 9. Raven Ennis will toss it in for the Trojanettes. Gets it out to Murphy. Now over to Smith. Feeds it back to Ennis. Curls out to the right corner. Ennis wants to go baseline against Cassidy. And the ball is going to be kicked as she tried to bounce it into the left corner.
They really use Adwell as a rim protector. She's not really guarding anybody, or her man, she really sinks all hard on her.
Murphy will toss it in. Feeds it underneath. Stolen away by Bradley. Adwell. Over the left side, Cassidy. Cassidy driving in. Forces up the shot. It's deflected. Goes out of bounds. And Glasgow will get it back with 49 seconds to play. Bradley to trigger it in. Trying to get it into Adwell. Posted down low. She's triple teamed. Gives it back out to Cassidy. Now Botts, a high arching 3. Air ball. And it'll go out of bounds. With 41.6.
You get Ainsley Adwell to give it up right there on the block and have to kick it back out. You've done a good job defensively.
Addison London back in the Trojan lineup. It's going to come in for Katie Murphy.
Got a lot of time here. We got to handle their pressure with Katie out.
Ball comes into Varney. It's knocked to the floor. No foul, no call. Ennis will handle it out front with 31 seconds to play in the third. Elmore working against Bradley. Goes to the basket. They're going to get a foul call as she went up. It's Mariana Bradley. Her first, team second. 2 shots for Katie Elmore. 1 of 2 at the line tonight. 5, 6, 8th grader. First one is no good. She'll have 1 more. Barron County's 2 of 8 from the foul line in the game.
Raven missed our first 4 and set the tone for that, didn't she?
Yeah. Second shot for Elmore is on the way, and it's off the front of the rim. Rebound taken by Bradley. Here comes Hadwell into the front court. Right side it goes to Hale. She walked. No call. Now they force up the shot. Now there's a travel on Hale.
I don't know. It's kind of like just a nonchalant attitude by the Stripes tonight. I've been very positive on their performance this year.
Well, let's just hope the boys' game's not
be rough, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Be very rough.
The ball went through the hands of Murphy. She tried to save it, and it's going to go right back to Glasgow.
7 turnovers for the Trojanettes here this corner compared to just 3 for Glasgow. That's why they've been able to cut this to a single-digit game, have 12.
On the floor for the Trojanettes. Holds up, gives it to Ennis for the 3 ball. No good air ball. That's the end of the third. Barron County only scores 4 points in the third period. Glasgow scores 11, but the Trojanettes still have a 9-point lead. It's 33-24 after 3. Back for the fourth quarter. This is Barron County High Basketball presented by Don Franklin Auto Glasgow on 104thescore.com and Nash 103.7.
Once upon a time in a convenience store, a woman asked, "Which zero-calorie drink will I like more?" The cashier said, "I have a thought. Coke Zero Sugar always hits the spot." The taste made her heart fill with laughter, and with her Coke Zero Sugar, she lived happily ever after. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, unbelievably delicious.
No trip to the store is complete without the unbelievably delicious zero-calorie taste of Coke Zero Sugar.
Starting, growing, and running a business comes with many unique challenges and obstacles. German American Bank believes that your money should work as hard as you do. That's why we are raising the standards in business banking with innovative technology to help you take advantage of every penny you earn and maximize every minute of your busy day. We want to help you bring convenience to your customers, improve cash flow to help you grow, and increase efficiency. Explore our financial solutions and meet our business banking team online at GermanAmerican.com. German American Bank, member FDIC.
You're listening to Barron County Basketball, presented by Don Franklin Glasgow. Now, back to courtside with Jay Turner.
And this is the fourth quarter brought to you by South Central Bank. Small enough to know you, big enough to help. Barron County will have the basketball at midcourt across the way. As the Trojanettes lead it by 9, led by 16 at halftime. Katie Murphy out front with it for the Trojanettes. Straight away off to Elmore. Elmore goes down the left corner to Varney. Now Varney, one dribble, feeds it in there to London. London over the right side now to Murphy. She'll circle it back out. Straight away back to Elmore. Now Elmore working against Hale. Diagonal pass right side over to London. Back out to Murphy. Looking for Ennis. They've got her fronted in there. And Varney looking. Free throw line. Here's a shot by London. No good. Rebound to Botts.
It's 2 of 10 in the third quarter, and that continues. So now 2 of 11 this half.
Botts gets it across the line. Off it goes to Hale. She's open for the 3. It's no good. Rebound in there by Adwell. Going back up with a shot. It is in there. Working against Murphy. Put it up and in. Adwell now with 13. And it's 33-26. 26. Here's Elmore driving to the bucket. She's fouled. Foul is on Chloe Hale, her second, and the team's third of the second half.
At the line, Elmore.
Elmore is only 1 of 4. Barron County 2 of 9 from the foul line here in the basketball game. Elmore puts it up, and it's no good.
Not taking our time, throwing it up there, and no follow through, doesn't look like.
One more for Elmore on the way, and that one's good.
Better.
4th point for Katie Elmore, 34-26.
The traps have not been as effective in this half either. That's another reason we haven't scored.
Ball comes into Hale. She's in a trap. Now looks, gets driven off to Adwell. It's deflected off Ennis and out of bounds.
Took a chance there, and if Raven hadn't have got a hand on it, that would have been a 3-on-1 break for Glasgow.
And Bradley will toss it in. Looking for Adwell. Going to lob it out there. Try to be chased down by Botts. And they're going to call a foul on Ennis.
Kind of a loose ball situation where she might not have gotten to it first, and that's why she got the foul instead of, I think that was Botts she was going against.
Mm-hmm. Second foul on Raven Ennis. That's 5 on the Trojanettes in the second half. Adwell speeding down the floor. Dishes it off to Hale on the baseline. Good. Now it's a 6-point ball game, 34-28. Katie Murphy trying to penetrate. Goes to the bucket, puts it up, missed the layup. Rebound comes off to Botts.
It was a good shot, though.
Here's Cassidy with it on the left wing. Back out to Botts. Right side it goes to Hale. 6.5 to go. Barron up by 6. Adwell setting things up. Go right side with it over to Cassidy. Cassidy got Adwell posted down low. Turns against Ennis. Fake. Goes up with a shot. No good. Rebound's tapped out. Grabbed there by Elmore. And the Trojanettes coming back the other way with it. Here's Katie Murphy. Down in the right corner. London with a 3. It's an air ball. And the ball will go out of bounds. They're going to give it back to, they're going to give it to Glasgow.
Yeah, a lot of contact there.
Emma Hughes will come in for Addison London. And 5:54 left at Barron County. 16-point lead down to 6. Cassidy having trouble. Finally gets into the Hale. Now Hale gives it back to Botts. Botts gets it across the line. Right side it goes to Cassidy for the 3. It is no good. In and out. Rebound to Ennis for the Trojanettes. Ennis down the right side. Goes to the basket. Throws it up. Hits the side of the backboard and taken by Adwell. Adwell into the front court behind the back dribble. Gives it out there to Botts. And here's Hale left open for the 3. Got it. Timeout. And now it's only a 1-possession game with 5:22 to play. Barron County 34, Glasgow 31. Trojanettes have only scored 5 points the entire second half.
Yeah, just 2 field goals altogether, not shooting free throws very well, not turning over Glasgow. Glasgow starting to make a few shots. They've hit now 3 threes in this half, matched our 3 threes from the first half, and we're struggling to find points right now.
Glasgow outscored Barron County 11-4 in that third period. And now here in the fourth, 7-1.
Really, we're not getting very many shots either. We had 10 shot attempts. I said we doubled Glasgow in makes and takes in the first half. Well, they did this. They had more. They had 15 attempts and 6 makes. I'm sorry, they had 4 attempts and 15 4 makes, 15 attempts in that third quarter, and that doubled us up too. So, really we're struggling to get attempts, and that's what you got to have if you want to put points on the board. They also seem like they have a little bit more energy, maybe momentum right now. And our girls, like I said, when the ball doesn't go in and we have struggles, sometimes we hang our head a little bit. We've got to power through that.
Mm-hmm. Trojanettes been outscored 18-5 since halftime. Ennis Ennis still looking. Gets it in play to Murphy. And they try to throw it off of Adwell. And now we're going to get a foul call.
The fouls are 7-3, not in our favor. That's a tough angle, trying to get it coming up the sideline.
That's 7 team fouls on the Trojanettes. Bots is a 67%. Taken by Adwell, pushing it down the floor and poked away from behind by Murphy and out of bounds. .459 left. And Bradley will toss it in the deep right corner for the Lady Scotties. As she sends it out to Hale. Leaves it with Botts. Botts getting pressure from Varney. Botts goes with it to Adwell. Adwell dumps it, picked off by Hughes. Hughes with it for the Trojanettes. Gets rid of it to Murphy, fires it off to Ennis. Ennis wants to drive against Cassidy and is cut off. Turns and flips up the shot. It won't go. Rebound to Bradley. Ennis down on the floor trying to go for it. Lost out of bounds. Barron's going to get it back.
We're taking some good shots, but we're also taking some ones that are some very tough angles. We kick those back out and save possessions is what we probably really should do.
Comes into Ennis. Double team down low, puts it up with the left hand. Good. Kind of turned one way and flipped it back up the other.
Yeah, that was a much better shot at a much better angle and a very much needed one.
36-33. Trojanettes, 4:20 to go in the basketball game. Botts with it out front for the Lady Scotties against Varney. Now goes left side with it to Adwell off the screen. Turns to the left elbow. Fires it off in the right corner to Hale. Mishandled it. Had to pick it up. Bounces back out to Cassidy. Cassidy dribbling left. Reversing back right. Hands it off to Botts. 4 minutes to play in the ball game. Barron up by 3. Botts off the left side. Feeds it off to Adwell. Adwell throws it up off the glass. It's no good. Rebound taken by Raven Ennis. They're going to reach in. That's going to be a foul call. And it'll be on 22. That's Chloe Hale, her third, team's fourth. Ennis gets the ball in play to Elmore. Elmore looking, still looking. Gets rid of it to Murphy. Fires it in the middle there to Varney. Varney dribbling the left hand. Reversing back out. Gives it to Elmore. Goes between her legs and out of bounds.
Got in a little hurry there. Got a little uncomfortable is what we did.
As Botts will bring it up for the Lady Scotties. 3:33 to play. Botts angling off to the right side of the dribble. Picks it up. Goes out to Bradley in the key. Over to Hale. Fakes the three. Drives against Ennis. Goes to the basket. Missed the layup. Rebound to Ennis for the Trojanettes. Ennis. Crossover dribble. Going strong to the bucket. And she's going to be fouled. That'll be a blocking foul on Mia Cassidy.
Cassidy set up for a long time, but you got to take the charge. She just got hit on the shoulder is basically what happened.
Raven Ennis at the line for 2 shots. She's 0 for 4 tonight. Those came back in the first period. First one on the way. It's good. Puts her in double figures as she matches Katie Murphy's 10 points in the first half. 37-33. Trojanettes. Ennis, second toss on the way. Good.
Needed those makes. Get a little lead and get a timeout here to rest for the last 3:15 and talk about it.
Take a People's Bank timeout. The People's Bank in Glasgow working for you. Find out scores and results from middle school to high school each day on our school's website. Go to barron.kyschools.us, click athletics, and then the sports report. Get scores from freshman, JV, middle school, And, of course, the varsity scores as well. Trojans and Scotties in game 2 later tonight. Of course, we know the outcome of the district tournament on the boys' side, as Barren County and Glasgow will play in the district tournament first round at Barren County in March. Middle of March.
You're playing for what jersey you wear. You know what bench you're going to be sitting on because it's in your gym. But will you use the white jerseys or the burgundy jerseys? And that's all tonight's game's for. Obviously, it's a good rivalry game, and we should play it in all sports. Regardless, it means something more to the kids, and it doesn't really mean more to our record unless it's a district game that counts. And you mentioned kind of tonight it does, and it really doesn't. But it definitely means more to these kids. And something that's missing tonight, obviously, we've talked about this in all the district games. There are big student sections on both sides. The Glasgow student section pushed in. We have a few kids here. They've got a few, but nothing like it normally would be.
No. All right, the Trojans are going to set up. And as Bott's having trouble, finally gets into Hale underneath the Barren bucket. Trying to dribble out of trouble. Bounces back to Botts. Botts racing across the line with Varney. Top of the key. Now Varney putting pressure on. Gives it off to Cassidy. They go inside there. Here's Adwell up with the left hand. No good. Rebound to Katie Murphy. 2:55 left in the game. Murphy, top of the circle. Cuts back to the left side. Gives it in the corner to Varney. Long bounce pass back out front to Elmore. Over it goes to Hughes. Back out to Varney. Now Varney back to Murphy. She's going to drive to the bucket and is going to be fouled. So this will be a 2-shot foul. Foul on Botts. Her first, team 6. 2 shots for Katie Murphy, 70.5% foul shooter. 10 points in the first half. And there's her first point of the second half. 39-33. Murphy fires and hits. 12 points for Katie Murphy. It's 40-33. Barren back up by 7. Glasgow had cut it to 1 after trailing by 16. Almost a turnover to backcourt. Adwell, right side, cuts back left, spins, gives it back out to Botts. Botts trying to penetrate, can't go. Top of the key. Varney putting pressure on. Botts losing the handle, in trouble. Gets rid of it off to Adwell. 2:15 left. Adwell against Katie Murphy. Goes right side with it to Botts. Botts fires it down low, and there to Adwell. Dumps it off underneath to Bradley. She puts it in and draws a foul.
Not much of a foul there on the backside. Put it on Emma Hughes. I didn't see what she did. We were through a lot of traffic, but the official came out of there very emphatic that there was a foul. That's a tough one with an and one there.
Yeah. Foul was on Elmore, her second, team's 8th. Bradley puts it up, and it's no good. And Hughes had it for a moment, lost it to Hale. 40-35 in a minute 57 to play. Adwell in traffic. She walked, but no, yeah, there it is. I thought he was going to call a foul there. Just the way he started to make his move and signal.
Yeah. I said Emma Hughes. I just got the 3 and the 2 transposed there. Sorry.
Ball comes into Varney. Bounces up court to Murphy. Now Murphy works against Botts. Over it goes to Hughes and back out to Elmore. Minute 43 left in the ball game. Barren up by 5. Right side it goes to Murphy. Now Murphy gives it back out front to Elmore. Hale putting the pressure on. She drives, kicks it off left corner to Varney. Varney will circle it back out halfway. Adwell really putting the pressure on her. Goes in the left corner to Elmore. Goes to Murphy. Back to Elmore. Elmore cutting down the lane. Flips up the shot. It won't go, but there's a foul.
8th grader's eyes got pretty big. She saw a lane, and we were trying to run some clock there, but hopefully we can make some free throws to make that possession. Make this a 3-possession game with a make. 1:21 to go.
And it's on the way. It's short. Ball comes off to Adwell. Adwell working down the right side. Now looks, gives it out to Hale. Fakes the 3. Out to Botts. Now Botts fires it down in there to Bradley, throws it back out to Cassidy for a three-point shot. It's good.
Got to cover that three up, and we sank in to help on a non-scorer that let Cassidy get that set shot off.
And the way she shoots it, you think you could block it, but she releases it so quickly. And that's her second three here in the second half. So now it's a three-point ball game again.
Yeah. So missed free throws are big on that score sheet there in front of you. That could have put it a three-possession game. Instead, they come back, hit a three, and make it back to a one-possession game.
Barron County only one field goal in the fourth, only two in the third. But have hit 6 of 8 free throws here in the fourth quarter to keep the lead 41-38.
Three ball hasn't gone for us at all here in the second half, has it?
Murphy hit one in the second quarter. Ennis hit one in the first quarter, and Hughes in the second.
Glasgow's got 4 here in the second half. We've got, again, none. Adwell's got 1, Cassidy's got 2, and Hale's got 1. That's a big reason that they've been able to outscore us here in the second half.
Well, Glasgow has 9 field goals, and 4 of those are three-pointers. Barron only 2 field goals. And both of those were by Abby Varney back in the third period.
If you look at their stats, I think this is right. About a third of their field goals, 31 out of 98 field goals made this year are threes. So that's about right on their score sheet.
Ennis gets the ball in play. Murphy bounces it back to Ennis. Going to have to head up court with it. And now Ennis is going to be fouled by Botts. Her second, team's 8th.
Based on how Raven shot free throws tonight, I think that's who they probably won, although she's made both of them here in the
she normally shoots 72%, but struggled there in the first quarter, 0 for 4. Hit her last 2. 1-1. Free throw is good. Rimmed it in.
Sometimes you pick overall percentages for the year to foul, and sometimes you just pick how the game's going and make them pay here.
42-38. Got it.
Yeah, that looked a lot better than those in the first half.
43-38, 58 seconds to go in the ball game. Ball almost knocked away by Murphy, but Adwell's got it. She's going to, and it had it poked away from behind. Hughes has got it. Hughes gets rid of it to Murphy. Murphy, bounce pass off to Smith. She's going to lay it up and in.
Big bucket by Addison.
And the Edward Jones, Jamie Harris assist to Katie Murphy. Here's Adwell looking. Fires it across over to Cassidy. Sets back for the three. It's an air ball. We got a foul. Somebody pushed off.
Very fortunate there. Left their shooter.
And it's on Adwell, her second. Team's 9th. Going to put Emma Hughes at the free throw line. Emma Hughes, 1 in the bonus. 69% foul shooter on the year. Free throw is up, and it is good. A lot of rim, but it goes down. Makes it 46-38. Hughes fires, misses that one. Rebound comes off long to Adwell. Loses it to Ennis, and then we're going to get a foul on Adwell. She tried to tie it up. That's 3 on Ansley Adwell and 10 on Glasgow in the second half.
Better half taking, or better quarter taking care of the basketball from the Trojanettes. Now Glasgow's the one having trouble doing it.
Yeah. 2 shots for Ennis. First one, swish.
We get close to pushing it out to a 10-point lead, double-digit lead.
One, yeah. And it's on the way. Got it.
They get it down to 3. Is that the closest?
I did 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 1 point.
Early.
48-38. And here comes Botts working it into the front court. And a timeout by Coach Craig Pippin of the Lady Scotties with 22.4 seconds to play. Barron County leading 48-38. Again, the Trojanettes, 3 field goals here in the second half. Of course, Addison Smith scored the last one on a layup. But the free throws, actually we've scored 2 here in the fourth quarter because Ennis scored 1 of the buckets. Mm-hmm. But free throws, a bushel. Ennis 6 for 6 from the line in the fourth quarter. Katie Murphy, 2 for 2. Katie Elmore, 2 of 4 from the line in the fourth quarter. Emma Hughes, 1 for 2.
We were 2 of 7 in the first half, is that right? And
yeah.
We bounced back here with much better shooting performance when the game's been on the line.
And we've shot 16 field goal or free throws in the second half.
Missed 3?
Is that right? No, missed 4.
Okay.
No, that's not right either. 1, 2, 3 in the fourth quarter. So I was looking at those 2 back in the third quarter there.
You know, Pippin used to, when he was at Russell County, he had, I was always impressed with his motion offense, and he hasn't run any of that really tonight. So I think he's got a little different personnel in Glasgow than he had obviously at Russell County, but our girls have done a really good job defensively, not letting them get into a real groove offensively, even though they have made some threes this quarter.
Comes into Adwell. 20 seconds to play. Adwell goes off the screen. Now throws it back over the left side. Here's Cassidy. She wanted to shoot that one. Gives it back to Adwell. Adwell lobs it down in there to Bradley. Turns and flips up the shot. It's no good.